that she said no such thing, that there was a similar offer to her from the camp of Jack Lam. But Secretary Aguirre po, so saan po nanggaling yon?
I might have misunderstood the chairperson, but that's what my notion after I talked to her, that
It's always a serious charge.
I recall that
Secretary Aguirre, it's a serious allegation whenever you say that someone committed a crime or someone attempted to commit a crime, someone attempted to bribe. It's supposed to be serious allegation.
I take
So, yun
I'm
lang
sorry,
ba
I'm sorry,
talaga
Your
ang
Honor.
style nyo?
I take it very seriously, but that's my impression when I talk to her, that
When was this
that-
po? May we know, when did you talk to each other? And you're attributing that particular impression of yours that there was a similar offer to Chair Domingo, but which she denies.
I could no longer recall the date.
So hindi naman po siguro yun dun sa birthday party ni Attorney Fred Lim, the president of PAGCOR. I suppose, Chair Domingo, you were not there?
We were there. A lot
Oh,
of
you were
PAGCOR.
there.
Yes, because he's an officer
So,
and we're friends.
could it
so-
be on that same occasion? That's November 27 evening. That
No.
was already the day after the meeting of Secretary Aguirre
No,
with Jack Lam.
no, Mr. Chair. I believe that we talked before the September 27 of November, before on the birthday of Attorney Fred Lim. But I might have
So, it could not, Secretary, kasi salamat po.
misunderstood her when she said that yan nga ang sinasabi sa akin na 1%. Tapos sinabi sa akin ni chairperson na wag mo nang isabihin yung 1% na yan. You just pay the correct taxes.
Secretary Aguirre, so you said that it could not have been, to your recollection, hindi po during that same occasion, the birthday of Attorney Fred Lim, the president of PAGCOR. Although Chair Domingo just said that she was also present there. But Secretary Aguirre, sabi niyo po, hindi po. That was before.
It must have been on November 27, but before we met at the house of Fred Lim.
Yes,
As a
because-
matter of fact, in the house of Fred Lim, I met with Chairperson Domingo, and I joke about that 1%. So I might,
Yes.
if the chairperson is denying it, then let her deny
Yes,
it. But
because-
that's the way I understood her.
Yes, because-
before that.
Yes, Secretary Aguirre, I think you're done. It could not have been before November 27, right? It could not have been before November 26.
It is on November 27.
On the day of November 27.
But before the actual party.
Before
in
the
night.
party. Because
It must have been daytime.
yes, because it cannot be before the evening or the afternoon of November 26 dahil dun nga lang po nangyari yung sinasabi niyong offer to bribe you from Jack Lam. Correct?
That's right.
Okay. Yes, Chair Domingo.
Ma'am, ang sinasabi naming 1%, kasi sabi ko, 1% lang ang binabayad ni Jack Lam sa junket. Dapat 10%. So sabi ko, kailangan magbayad na rin siya ng 10%. But it was casual lang po yung, kasi it was a party.
Napakalayo po ng statement na yan
Oh,
for
kaya
any
nga po.
insinuation of any offer to bribe also.
Kasi po, kung sasabihin similar bribe, hindi ko alam
Napaka-wild
ano
po
yung
pala
bribe.
kasi ng imagination niyo, Secretary Aguirre.
Alam po ninyo, my imagination is really clear. Pero yung pong ganung pag-uusap lamang, I don't make so much about that. Nag-uusap lang kami siguro for a few, less than a minute. Tapos nabanggit niya sa akin, ako nga niya, sinasabihan na 1% ang gustong ibayad eh. So, ang sabi ko, don't mind the 1%, just pay. Sabi niya sa akin ni Chairperson Domingo. your legal obligation of 10%.
Chair
So if I
Domingo.
misunderstood here, then ako may kasalanan.
Chair Domingo,
But
you
it
don't
is a
have
mere
to,
misunderstanding.
you don't have to raise your voice, Secretary Aguirre. Relax lang po kayo.
Yes, I will relax.
Kayo lang pong dalawa nakakaalam exactly kung ano sinabi nga po ni Chair Domingo. Now, whether you misinterpreted her
I
or
don't know what
not,
kind. I don't know where this conversation is going. What is so important about
Well,
that kind
just
of
answer the
exchange?
question.
It was
just
in a
answer the
very-
question, please.
I will either order a recess or you can both calm down or just rest
I'm not
easy.
raising my voice, Mr. Chair.
Well, but you're conducting the chair already when you're saying you've had enough. I don't think you should say that. Have a little respect for the chair. I am in control of these proceedings, and I'd like everybody to tone their voices down. And when I say that, I don't mean you. I said everybody.
I apologize, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Apology is accepted. Please proceed.
Thank you. So we're going to hear from Chair Domingo again, please.
Yes, ma'am. It was a very, there were so many people. It was a very casual thing. And I was just saying na, for me, I will insist, hindi 1% ang babayad, dapat magbabayad siya ng 10%. Ganun lang po yung ano. So, pwede po talagang hindi kami masyado nagkaintindihan dahil puno po talagang tao eh. And then, in passing lang ho, so, I'm sorry that I have to, but that is what I know, that yung 1% na yon nanggaling po na 1% lang talagang binabayad ni Jack Lam at nag-i-insist po kami na 10% ang ibayad niya.
Chair Domingo, I take your word for it.
Thank you po.
And it's what you call, it's res ipsa loquitur. Exactly what you said.
Salamat.
Res ipsa loquitur. So going now to the policy questions that I was supposed to ask. Tungkol naman po dun sa issue ng the license being secured under CESA. Hindi ko po alam if any of you, whether it's Secretary Aguirre or Chair Domingo or even the BI, na may opinion na po ako dyan eh. Although the opinion, the request for legal opinion, for me, and this was sought by the late Secretary Jez Robredo in 2011. I received a letter from him asking for my legal opinion on, quote, whether or not the franchise granted by the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, CESA, for the operation of High Alay Fronton in the Cagayan Freeport authorizes a franchisee to establish or operate High Alay online betting gaming stations outside the Freeport. So this may not be about really online gaming, more of online High Alay, the off-fronton High Alay. Clear po yung naging opinion ko dyan, at ang sinabi ko po, hindi po sakop yan. May I just quote? After discussing the license of CESA, the license of PAGCOR, etc., and the applicable law, Republic Act 954, ang aking pong opinion dito, the mere fact of being a grantee of a legislative franchise to operate or maintain a fronton does not exempt said grantee from being penalized under the second offense. Yung second offense po kasi yung operator of a fronton who is a grantee of High Alay legislative franchise, the offering taking of bets on any pelota game or event outside the place, enclosure, or fronton where the Basque pelota game is held by a person, operator, or maintainer of a fronton with a legislative franchise. Section 5 of RA 954 only allows a High Alay legislative franchisee to take bets within the fronton enclosure, but likewise penalizes him if he takes bets outside of the fronton where the High Alay game is conducted. So dun po sa dispositive portion ko po, after explaining all of this, in my opinion, addressed to the late Secretary Jesse Robredo, ang sabi ko po, number 1, CESA is authorized to license and grant a High Alay franchise to Meridian in accordance with the final and executory October 30, 2009 decision of the RTC of Apari, but so authorize Meridian to operate off-fronton betting/gaming stations only if it is allowed by law in accordance with CESA's own February 2, 2009 certification issued to Meridian. And number 2, however, since no law allows the operation of off-fronton betting stations, as in fact they are prohibited and criminalized under Section 5 of RA 954, Meridian can only set up its high-alay betting/gaming stations within the premises of the place, enclosure, or fronton where the Basque Pelota game is held, that is, inside its high-alay fronton located within the Cagayan Freeport Zone and nowhere else outside said fronton, in accordance with the terms and conditions of its CESA license as it was upheld in the cases of Meridian versus CESA and CESA versus Meridian. Tungkol ho yun sa off-fronton high-alay. But this is very material because we're talking here about the CESA license na doon kinukuha even if the operation is outside the territorial jurisdiction of CESA. Unfortunately, dinala po kami sa husgado. Kinasuhan po kami ni Secretary Jez Robredo. Inakyat po kami sa Court of Appeals in a case Meridian Vista Gaming Corporation versus Honorable Laila M. de Lima and Jez Robredo. Nakakuha po sila ng TRO, nakakuha ng injunction. I don't know what is the exact status now of that case. I'm pointing this out po para tingnan uli ng DOJ if they would still affirm or they would be rejecting that opinion of mine, because this might be material relevant to this issue. Bakit ho nag-ooperate ngayon si Jack Lam? At sinasabi, wala sa inyong kinuha, you are insisting that it's covered, but as I said earlier, meron ding debate dyan sa coverage ng PAGCOR, or dahil nga yung sinasabi, narinig ko si Attorney Raymond Fortun, binanggit din ho ni ng chairman ho natin, na ang claim nila dahil sakop sila ng CESA. So paki-review lang po